Hi everyone, it's been a while, but I'm back with another review of some value betting software. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Pinnacle Odds Dropper, which is a new value betting software that I'm actually really excited to show you guys because I think it's going to be really helpful to some of you that have been doing value betting for a while, but have kind of hit a few walls and are struggling to kind of keep it going and keep making money from it. The reason being is that Pinnacle Odds Dropper lets you do value betting with any soft bookmaker that you can access in your country. You don't need to rely on finding a value betting software that actually covers all the soft bookmakers in your country, because if you use Pinnacle Odds Dropper, you can use this tool to value bet with any soft bookmaker in your country. So it's very useful. This is particularly useful for those who have already been banned or have been limited with the soft bookmakers in their country that their value betting software of choice covers, or people who live in a country where the value betting software like RebelBetting and OddsJam don't support many soft bookmakers in that country. You'll be particularly interested in taking a look at this video. Pinnacle Odds Dropper relies on the odds dropping strategy, which is a strategy that involves looking at the odds at an accurate bookmaker, in this case Pinnacle, and looking for tracking these odds closely and watching when the odds for a particular outcome for a particular event, watching for when these odds drop suddenly. When Pinnacle drops their odds for a particular event, say for a particular team to win a football match, if that odds drop suddenly, then that is usually a strong indication that something has happened in the circumstances of that match, which suggests that outcome now is much more likely to occur. So if a player, if it's pre-match and a player, for example, on the opposing team got injured, for example, that star striker got injured, then the other team's odds might drop suddenly, and Pinnacle is very quick at updating these odds. The soft bookmakers, on the other hand, tend to be much slower at updating their odds. So there can be this period of a couple of minutes where Pinnacle has updated their odds and dropped them, but the soft bookmakers are still keeping much higher odds. And that is the window in which you can place a bet with those soft bookmakers and have a significant edge over them. Place enough of these bets in the long run, you can expect to earn quite a substantial amount of money from this strategy. So the whole purpose of Pinnacle Odds Dropper is to notify you when Pinnacle drops either their odds or if they change their limits that they're allowing, the stake limit for a particular outcome. These suggest that the probabilities of that outcome occurring have suddenly altered, and that's your chance to place a bet with a soft bookmaker and get an edge over them. It is worth noting that this software doesn't track the soft bookmaker odds like many other tools such as RebelBetting or OddsJam. It just tracks the Pinnacle odds, which means it's up to you to use an odds checking tool to identify a bookmaker that is slow to change their odds. So once you get an alert on Pinnacle Odds Dropper telling you that some odds have dropped, you then need to search and look for the soft bookmaker odds for that same outcome on that same match. And see if you can identify any bookmakers that are slow to update their odds. So it is a little bit different to traditional value betting software. But with that out of the way, let's jump straight into the software and take a look at how it works. All right, so here we are in the Pinnacle Odds Dropper software. It mainly consists of two different page types. The first one is this events page, and then there's a few of these alerts pages over here, which we'll take a look at soon. So the main page here is this events one here, and that lets you look at all the events that Pinnacle Odds Dropper covers, which is the same as all the events that Pinnacle themselves cover. And you can look at, for example, for a particular match, you can look at the different markets like money line, spreads, and totals. You can look at the different outcomes. And then over here, you can see the most interesting information. And here you can see the price, the vigorish, and then you can also see the limit over here. And so the price is just the odds that Pinnacle are offering for this particular outcome. And the vigorish is the estimate of the profit margin that Pinnacle has built into their odds. And then this is the stake limit that you can, the maximum amount that you can bet on this particular outcome. And these are the current values. And here are the previous values. So you can just see that how these things have changed. The stake limit has recently doubled from 3,000 to 6,000. And you can see that the vigorish hasn't changed much, and the price things are changing here in real time, but yeah, you can see how the prices are changing a little bit as well. And here's how the odds look compared to when they opened. So you can see that the odds have moved up a little bit since they opened. You can also see this number here, which is possibly the most important one in this row, and that is the no vigorish price. So that is the price here, Pinnacle's price, with the vigorish stripped out. And that's basically telling you what the real probability is of this particular outcome occurring. That means that if you can find an event with if you can find a soft bookmaker that offers odds higher than 1.593 for this particular outcome of this match, then you're actually probably likely to get an edge over that particular bookmaker because these odds here represent close to the true probability. This is what Pinnacle really thinks the probability is of this outcome occurring. So if a soft bookmaker is offering substantially higher odds than this, they probably mispriced their odds, and you can get an edge over them by betting at by placing a bet at higher odds than this value here. And that's why this no vigorish price is so important. If we click on a particular row, then you can see over here on the right that you get a little graph of the history of both the price and the limit. And you can see that the price has been trending up for this particular outcome, and that the limit has also been trending up, which suggests that Pinnacle have greater confidence in the odds that they have priced for this particular outcome. And you can see the same thing down in here in table form, which can also be useful. You can use this launchpad here to search for a particular event, for example. If there's something in particular that you're interested in, you click on that, and then you get access to all the information you need for that particular thing, along with graphs if they're available and all that kind of thing. You can also just generally scroll through the different sports here. You can see that there's 9 sports in total that Pinnacle Odds Dropper covers, the same as Pinnacle themselves. So you can just scroll through these here and look for opportunities, but that's probably not the most efficient use of your time. You're probably better off actually going to the alerts page over here, which we'll take a look at now. So I've clicked on this here, the alerts for dropping odds, and I've set up a few filters here already. And if we just sit here on the all page, we can see all alerts, which is just a combination of all the different individual alert filters that I've set up here. And I'll show you a bit more how that works in a minute. But this page here basically shows you all the alerts that you get. And you can see here that if we just look at this first one here, each row represents a different outcome, or could be for the same match, or could be for different matches. And you see these here for the same match, and it's quite a few for the same match, but just for different outcomes. So for this alert here, we can see when this event is going to start. You can see what alert filter caused us to get this alert, the outcome, and then you can see that the price here. So the price has dropped from 3.62 down to 3.25. And then when you factor in the vigorish, the true probability is actually 3.61. So there's a reasonable amount of vigorish that Pinnacle have placed here on these odds. But what that means is that so this alert only came in 11 minutes ago, which means these prices only dropped 11 minutes ago. If you got this alert maybe only 1 or 2 minutes ago, there's a good chance that many soft bookmakers wouldn't have dropped their odds yet from the higher value down to the lower value. They might still be sitting up at 3.6, 3.7, 3.8. As long as they're higher than this 3.61, placing a bet with these soft bookmakers that have the higher odds will mean that you have an edge over them. And that's really what we're looking for here. So whenever you get one of these alerts here, you want to scan the soft bookmaker odds at the same time, and then you want to see where they are. And if they are higher than this no vig price, then you've got a good chance you can place a value bet with them, and you've got a decent edge. Obviously, the higher the price, the better. Okay, you can see one has just come in here 3 seconds ago for a basketball match by the looks of it, and you can see that the price here has dropped by over 10%. And then we're looking at this no vigorish price here. Okay, and more just keep coming in. Perhaps that one just disappeared, it looks like. But anyway, that's basically how these things work. You've got to be quick. You want to keep an eye on all these. And when the prices drop, you need to be fast at scanning the soft bookmaker odds with some other tool to identify potential value bets. And you can see here that we also get the same graph, much like before. And you can just see that there's been a sharp drop in in how these, even if the limit hasn't changed, the price has dropped quite a bit for this particular outcome, and that's what resulted in us getting an alert for this. You can also see alerts based on limit change. I think I haven't set up actually any alerts based on limit change at the moment, so I can't show you that, but it's a similar concept. If you see the limit drop substantially for a particular outcome, then or if you see it go up, conversely, that can suggest to you that Pinnacle is changing how sure they are, how sure they are of those particular odds being correct. And I don't think I've set these up either, but you can look at opening line alerts as well. And I believe these are only available on the gold plan. So they offer two plans, silver and gold, and I think you have to be on gold to access these, but I haven't tried that out much yet. But you can just see, you can get an alert when opening lines come available. That's pretty much how that works. You can also filter between live and pre-match. You can pause your alerts if you're getting too much. Over here, you can configure your alert. So if you wanted to look at a new alert, you could choose, do you want to drop in odds, limit change, opening line alert? You can choose the sports, the different markets you want to cover, the periods, any competitions you want to include or exclude, the minimum drop percentage. So it's set at 10% by default. You don't want to have this too low, otherwise then you'll be getting way too many alerts. And when you factor in the vigorish that Pinnacle puts in their odds, it's going to be quite hard to actually find a soft bookmaker that still has high enough odds to make it worthwhile value betting. So you want to keep this reasonably high, unless you find that you're not getting enough bets, then you can try dropping it down a little bit, but just start with 10, I would recommend. As you can see, I'm getting plenty of alerts with it at 10%. The time interval, max time to match start, and then the odds range, limit range, if you want to look at all those kind of things, then you can name your alert and then you can create it there. So it's all very straightforward. As you can see, the interface is great. I really like just the simplicity of the interface. It's really easy to see at a glance exactly what you need to know, which is very useful. I love that they just show this no vig price here, right here, making it very simple. A little graph just means that rather than looking at a table, you can just see at a glance how things are going. There's also a useful little chat section down here where people are asking questions, and you can see that the Henry from Pinnacle Odds Dropper, he's very quick to reply and help everyone out in the group. There's a pretty good atmosphere in the group. People are trying to help each other out and let others know when they found a good opportunity, which is great to see. And there's also a Telegram channel which you can get onto as well, and that will help you also get support if you need it, or just speak to fellow value bettors and discuss opportunities and ideas that you've got, which is very good. In terms of pricing, there's basically a silver and a gold plan, and I'm in Australia, so at the moment they're priced in Australian dollars, but they'll be priced in your local currency. I'm pretty sure that currently it's set at $39 US for silver, and it's, I think, $69 US for gold, potentially. But those numbers might change, of course. That's what it is at the moment. If you're just getting started, I think silver is probably all you will need. Gold gives you those opening line alerts and the limit change alerts, and a bit more configuration on some of those alerts. But you can probably start with silver and see how you go from there. There is also a 15% off discount if you use my link. I'll put that in the video description below. That'll get you 15% off, which is a nice little bonus that the kind people at Pinnacle Odds Dropper have provided for us. Overall, I think this is a really useful piece of software. I think it's perhaps not so much suited for beginners because it doesn't track the soft bookmaker odds. It's better suited to experienced value bettors who might have been limited or banned at existing bookmakers, or people who live in countries where most of the soft bookmakers in their country are not tracked by some of the larger value betting software out there like RebelBetting and OddsJam. This tool will be really useful for you because, as you can see, it just provides you with the no vig price, and then you can use that to scan any soft bookmaker and find a suitable value bet, which is really useful. It's also quite a bit cheaper than most of the other value betting software out there, which is great to see. And as I said, you get that 15% off coupon, which makes it even cheaper. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything I've got to say about Pinnacle Odds Dropper. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'd love it if you could like the video and subscribe to this channel, where I plan on releasing more videos about arbitrage, value, and matched betting. That's all for me. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.